The human immune system is extensively studied in medicine because it is central to health and disease. This system plays a massive role, from fighting infections and cancer to causing autoimmune disorders and allergies. Most of the time, you never even know it happened. You think you are in control of your health, but the truth is, you're not. A big part of what's happening in your body is because of your immune system, which keeps developing and acquiring memories.
I remember the stillness after the war had come and the fever broke. That's after I got the chickenpox. And as a child, all I remember was the scabs that were left behind, the itch. But in that silent battle that was being fought within the body, a memory was being created. And this memory was created based on the hidden army. And this army is the one that fights diseases every now and then. Now as a scientist, I see how these things come to be, how they grow, and how important it is to fight some battles and have the memory.
Every day a hidden war rages, a conflict with no battlefields, no armies, but with casualties and triumphs measured in our own vitality. A sneeze on the bus, a hand on a doorknob, a laugh that turns into a cough. Sometimes we fall ill, but more often we recover without ever knowing how. What unseen force defends us from this constant siege? It is a war waged not with steel or fire, but with cells, with proteins, and with signals sent at the speed of life itself. The enemy is relentless, and the defenders are numerous, a complex and coordinated army of microscopic soldiers. This is the immune system, and this is the story of the war within us all.
The body's first line of defense is ancient, unwavering, and relentless. It is our innate immune system. Innate immunity is non-specific, and they attack anything foreign. They simply charge, overwhelming the invaders with sheer numbers.
These are the first responders, the infinity. They include cells like the neutrophils, the macrophages, and they're deployed within minutes. The best thing about these cells is that they don't decide that what are we gonna fight. They just attack. They are the fighters.
For decades, it was a fundamental truth of biology. The innate immune system could not remember their previous battles. They probably had amnesia, but recent scientific discoveries have overturned that long-held belief. Current studies show that some innate cells possess a form of memory called trained immunity, a powerful, if shorter-lived echo of past battles. When innate defenders engage, the battlefield is transformed. Blood vessels swell. Heat surges as blood pours into the tissues. To us on the surface, this battle only feels like fever, swelling, or a sudden, deep exhaustion. But in truth, this marks the beginning of the healing process, and a won battle by the innate cells.
One thing for sure, a fever isn't just a bug in the system. So this is generally a strategy within the immune system. What they do is they produce the heat, and this heat is main aim is to slow down invaders. Same to inflammation. So when you hear the pain and swelling, these aren't just symptoms. These are the signal of an ongoing war within the immune system.
But what exactly is going on in our body's biggest defender? When the invaders are too strong to be fought by the first line of defenders, a second, more powerful army awakens, the adaptive immune system. This new force is not just bigger, but smarter. It is precise, intelligent, and unforgettable. It stores the memories of every battle fought, so that the next time the enemy invades, it is ready to strike faster and minimize the symptoms. The adaptive cells primarily include T cells and B cells.
The T cells are actually the forgers of the weapon. So they create a swarm of guided missiles called antibodies, and the antibodies pinpoint and lock with accuracy. And then the T cells, they're the assassins. So they come in and infiltrate the affected cells, and then they destroy them. Together, this creates an army of the immunity.
Think of it this way. The innate army is the security alarm that alerts in case of a threat, tries to warn the intruders to run and disappear, but if the invaders fail to adhere, the adaptive system comes in. The latter is the intelligence agency analyzing the threat, learning its identity, and ensuring it can never slip by again. When the adaptive battle ends, some soldiers remain behind to guard the threatened territory. These are the memory cells, veterans standing guard for decades.
The childhood chickenpox at this point left an invisible scar, not on the skin, but on the immunity. So when next time the chickenpox come, the immunity already have the memory, and it can always recognize it just before it shows symptoms.
But just like any war, mistakes can occur. Sometimes, but not always, this brilliant defense system turns against itself, leading to autoimmunity.
So at this point, you're wondering what happens during autoimmunity. So in autoimmunity diseases, the immune system can no longer tell whether you're a friend or foe. It basically acts against itself. Things like the systemic lupus erythematosus, the SLE.
SLE, commonly known as lupus, is a chronic autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own healthy tissues and organs. This misdirected assault triggers widespread inflammation that can affect virtually any organ system in the body.
For centuries, humanity has sought to understand and command this hidden army, learning to teach it before a battle even begins, through the introduction of vaccines.
Vaccines. These were our first greatest victories, where we're training the body to fight even before the real enemy arrives. Now that we have mRNA vaccines and cutting-edge immunotherapies, we can train and reprogram the immune system. And we are even turning it against diseases like cancer and all other diseases that you could think of. We're no longer the bystanders, and now we are becoming the commanders in this war.
Think about it like a board game. There are always 1 to 6 players trying to win, and at the end of the day, you either lose or win. That's exactly what the immune system constantly does, always competing to restore health. Each recovery is evidence of a won battle. The stronger the immune system, the faster the recovery and the fewer the symptoms.
As a scientist, and as scientists in general, we study the tactics of this grand army. But as human beings, we all experience the victories and the quiet tragedies, the greatest battles ever fought, not on history books, not on battlefields, not on distant fields, but inside the human body. Every day, every single time, whether you're young, whether you're an adult, whether you're a teenager, we all experience the same thing. How cool!